if we just go to the facts, the history, this presidential election should be very easy and very clear. It should be 70% Obama, 30% Republicans. And those 30% are the hardcore right-wing wackos right there. Because Republicans caused the economic disaster. The Bush-Cheney Republicans caused the worldwide economic disasters, and Romney-Ryan Republicans are the same or even worse than that. That's it. It's the overdone. These are the same idiots that are called Republicans that are doing the same thing and asking for the same illogical, stupid things that the Republicans did under Bush-Cheney. Here they caused millions of people to be kicked out of their jobs. And what do? They block unemployment benefits till they get tax break for their rich cronies. Then, with Obama and the Democratic Party trying to stimulate the economy, now that is in this disastrous recession caused by Republicans, well, guess what happens? Republicans stand in the way and block any effort to energize the economy. They don't help you. They're against you. Then they come up with, of course, the new thing is to try and stop you from voting. So they come up and say, oh, rampant voter fraud and a voter ID is necessary. But that's a lie. Because studies have shown overwhelmingly that there is no voter fraud that would justify the voter ID laws. All it is a Republican scam to try and keep you, college students, elderly, and minority citizens, from voting. That's it. Then look at who these right-wing nutcases are that call themselves Republicans. This Akins guy and Ryan guy, they're wackos. They are absolutely extremist wackos from the fringe. A fringe. If they turned around, they would kiss Al Qaeda. That's how right-wing wacko the Republicans have become. Everything that you've heard has just been saying, wait, try and do the math. Try and do the math. And there's no way the Republican plan works except to tax you, the middle class, to give more tax money to the rich. That's it. And all across the nation, right-wing Republicans are lying to you. It's all they do, because they can't tell you the truth of what they're after, which is tax breaks for the rich. Tax breaks for corporations. Billionaire corporations needs tax breaks? Billionaire corporations, oil companies need to have you supply them with your tax money? That's Republican fraud. And that's what Republicans have been pursuing. That's what their facts are. They don't like to talk about their facts. They don't like to talk about their history. They don't like to talk about that they caused the biggest economic genocide since the 1930s. They can't. How can they? Because all they're going to offer is more of the same. Sure. They gotta blame, these kids aren't getting fed. And they're the very ones, like Steve King, who are blocking the food to kids. They gotta say, we gotta get some tax cuts in here. Oops, it's a big 400 billion tax break for the rich, where 60% of the cuts to pay for it are gonna come from you. Because 85% of the population, of the U.S. population, makes less than $100,000 a year. 85%. So 85% of the attention of where your tax money goes, because 85% of you are putting in all this tax money, right, comes back to benefit you, but not under the Republican plan. They turn it around and put that tax money of your tax money, not to you, but to the rich and to the corporations, to send your jobs overseas. And then blame Obama for why are the jobs overseas when Republicans put them there. That's the facts. They can't talk to the facts. They can't talk to the facts. Romney, you heard in the debate, jumping around, spewing all this crap, and it's the same Republican bullshit that has been going on that caused economic disaster. Nothing's changed. And when you look at what they do, where's the media covering that the Republicans block legislation that would give jobs to veterans? But no. Don't want to talk about that. Don't want to talk about that. The facts. Because Republicans can't live by the facts. So who do they appeal to? Right-wing wackos? Right-wing gun nuts? Right-wing Christian wackos? Right-wing women haters? That's it. And they count on them for 28% of their vote. They have to stir them up and get them all fired up. Oh, fear of abortion, fear of homosexuals, fear. What are they, a bunch of wimps? I'm not afraid of any of that. You aren't either. But see, the main underlying thing in reality is you, the employee, you, the worker, are the enemy. Because you cut into corporate profits. You cut into Republican corporate profits. So, veterans, you're out. Elderly, you're out. Students, middle income, science, children, women. Republicans are against you. Just look how they vote. You'll never vote Republican again. Even the right-wing nuts who think they should be Republican, if they'd turn around and look, they'd find that the Republicans got the hands in their wallets and are filching the money right out of them. Social Security. You put your money in, you get Social Security back. But Republicans don't like that. They want to give you over to corporate criminals. Same with Medicare, Medicaid, unemployment benefits, all the whole works. Throw it out, turn it over to corporate criminals. You've seen what corporations do. You've seen what the agenda is of Republican corporations. They're out there to destroy you. And people all over the world are saying, who do you really think these Republicans are viable in candidates for the presidency of the United States? No. They're a bunch of clowns and psychopaths, right-wing nutcases. It's all over. Even Republicans, old-age Republicans, can't stand them. Because they see, hey, these guys have become lunatics. That's right. What they ask for, what they think about, how this thing of this overriding issues that they come up with to try and stimulate that 28% of the right-wing nutcase base that they're counting on, and for people to not remember the history of how we got into this Republican-created disaster of economy, huh? Well, that's what they're hoping. And they're trying to tell you a big lie. Oh, there's rampant voter fraud, so we need a voter ID. That's bullshit. We know that's a fraud. All that is a plan to keep you from voting. Because in a clear, straight across the board vote, Republicans aren't even a viable second party. They're actually a minority right-wing party. So they have to try and block you from voting. College students, elderly, the minority citizens. No, keep them from voting. That's their plan. Then, of course, they blame anybody who does something. So they say, Republicans gave tax breaks and sent those U.S. companies over to the U.S. to hire outside of the U.S. to China, Malaysia, India, so that they could hire Malaysians, Indians, whatnot. And now they blame Obama for, hey, all the jobs are in Malaysia, China, and India. Who put them there? Republicans. Look what Republicans call upon. Guys like Ralph Reed, the guy was convicted of money laundering. A right-wing nutcase. A religious whacko from the Christian hypocrisy base. Facts, facts, and facts. Stare the Republicans in the face. They can't talk to you about that. They can't talk to you. They can sound like, in the debate there's this and that, we'll give this and that. And it's the Republican plan that dropped the whole economy in the sewer. Because they can't deal with you. The fact of humans. And you out there, Mr. and Mrs. America, are much more important than profit.